is the dream car that is in your mind?
Well, I lost an ambassador during this course. I would like to get one ambassador.
നമ്മൾ പല വണ്ടി ഭ്രാന്തന്മാരെ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇത് അതിനൊരു ഉത്തമ ഉദാഹരണമാണ്. നമ്മളിന്ന് പരിചയപ്പെടുന്നത് ISROയിൽ ചന്ദ്രയാൻ പോലെയുള്ള വലിയ വലിയ പ്രൊജക്ട്സിന് സപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യുന്ന മിസ്റ്റർ കൃഷ്ണകുമാറിനെയാണ്. ഇത് ശരിക്കും അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ആക്ച്വൽ വണ്ടിയുടെ ഒരു മിനിയേച്ചറാണ്. നമസ്കാരം, WheelOcityയിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം.
My name is Krishna Kumar, and I am basically born and brought up in Chennai, and throughout my first 55 years I have been in Chennai only. I also have a business in Chennai, especially dealing with valves for industrial applications.
Okay. So you said that you are into industrial valves business. Can you explain a little bit about it?
With the advent of these cryogenic applications, we started to supply to ISRO units across India, and we have supplied to various plants for specialized applications, especially for cryogenic and very high pressure applications. We can supply valves up to 400-500 bar. It is a very proud moment for not only ISRO but for the entire country. And this is a very special feat, especially with India coming up with new technologies and with very low cost.
Right.
We as a company, what we feel, we also feel proud because we are supplying our components to ISRO.
So you said that your company supplies valves to rockets also, right?
No, basically it is not on-board valves. These are valves which are supplied to the test facilities.
Okay. On the ground.
This is on the ground. It is used for different testing of the components or testing of the rocket itself before it is launched.
Okay, so talking about your craze for automobiles, I know that you are very passionate about cars.
Yes, I think my craze for cars started very young, probably around 5 years. And I should thank my father because he already had 1 or 2 cars when I was born itself. And our favorite car was the Fiat, which was basically it was an elegant, and it used to be the family car for us.
Which year?
That is 56.
The car was manufactured in 1950.
Yes,
okay.
And I think my father bought it around the 60s.
Okay.
So I was born in 65, so
Okay.
the car was there, and it has been there till 1972, and we were a very big family.
It was a joint family?
Yes.
In Chennai?
We were about 30 people living together
In a single house?
Oh.
It was in Chennai?
Just in Chennai.
Chennai.
Yes. So my grandfather had a hotel there. He was running into a hotel and lodge was there.
Okay.
So that was his business, and so the family used to go on regular travels with my father and this car. And he also had a pennant, standard pennant at that time. So both the cars were there.
Okay.
And we remember going on, I was quite small, but the car was there till 72 or 73. So around 5 years I'm still able to remember that car. And in fact my entire family even now talk about that car, they call it by the number only.
Okay.
Number 55385. When I got a job after engineering, the first thing I did was I bought a Fiat car.
Okay.
That is the Super Select.
Second hand.
Yes, it was a second-hand car. The car is still there with me.
It is
Picture, the blue one that you see in Chennai.
Yeah.
Was bought in 95.
Okay.
It is there with me all these years.
Okay.
So
It is which model? I mean, which year?
1962.
62. Okay.
62 model, Super Select. This must be totally imported.
Yeah.
And that was my car for the next 10 years, till 2005.
That was the only car you had?
That was the only car, and I have traveled with my family, my wife, my kids. We have traveled throughout South India. For example, we have gone to Ooty, Yerkad, we have gone to Kodaikanal, we have come to Wayanad. It has come here also. We have come to this village also. Around that time, I bought another car.
Okay.
There was a Ford Icon.
Oh, okay.
That was my first modern car.
Okay, okay.
So once we started using that, the usage of the Fiat also reduced, and I don't think we have taken it for very long rides. Except, of course, I will come to it. We have a group in Chennai.
Okay.
So where we go for long drives.
Vintage club.
Vintage club, we'll go to Pondicherry or Yerkad, that kind of thing, but not beyond that.
Which was the first car that you bought?
Yeah, it's quite interesting that I bought a car by chance, and the first car that I bought was an Ambassador.
Okay.
So it so happened that the company where I was working was quite new. It was called ASCO, automatic switch company, and all the staff were new, my managers were new, and one of the managers had invited me for a lunch at his house, because he has come from Delhi. He did not have much friends in Chennai, so he said, why don't you come and meet my family, and I have 2 children, you can be with them for some time. So on a Sunday I went to his house in the afternoon, and I had lunch with him. After we were playing some carom board and cards for some time, and by 3-4 o'clock I was leaving his house. So when I was leaving his house, I found a car which was covered.
Okay.
So his name is Mr. Ramasamy. I said, what is this? Is it your car? He said, yes. So can I see it? So he opened the cover. It was a nice Ambassador car, white in color. And he has bought it from Delhi, so it had a Delhi registration. And I said, what are you doing with this? He said, I'm not using it because the company has given me a car. So I said, what are you going to do? The first question he asked is, are you going to buy a car? I said, I don't have the money to buy the car, but
I'm interested.
I'm interested. And it so happened that at that point of time, the company had issued a letter to all the staff, giving them a 30,000 rupees loan for any purpose. The staff can buy a vehicle, they can buy something for the house, they can use it for some festival. So it was basically a loan which is
which can be used
for any purpose. So that was a point of time where I told him there is a letter like this, and what is the price you want? He said, okay, whatever is you can afford, you can pay me. I told him, okay, I will. He was expecting about 25 only for that. So I said, okay, I will pay you 25. The car is in good condition.
It was a petrol car only.
It's a petrol car.
Original petrol.
So it was a very nice car. And I told him, I don't have the money, but you are the sanctioning authority for the loan. So you sanction me that loan and you take that money. He said, okay, no problem. We will do it in the office, and it may take about a month because it has to go to the head office.
Yeah, the formalities.
But he was such a nice gentleman. He said, wait, I will bring the key. You take it and go.
Okay.
So I went to his house for lunch, but when I came back home, I came back with that Ambassador car. So that was my first car.
Which year was it?
That was in 87.
87. And the model of the car was?
76.
76.
It was a 76.
Mark 3.
It was a Mark 3, yes, it was a Mark 3.
Okay.
Yes, it was a Mark 3 car. And after I bought it, I repainted and all. I made it into a nice car. I was using it every day.
Okay.
In fact, I was using it to my office itself every day, and I have gone, I think till 93 I was having that car, and that car also we used it extensively. After my marriage, we went on a long honeymoon trip up to Goa. It was almost 2,800 kilometers. For the trip we went on 15-20 days. At that time the roads were also small and there was no traffic. I still remember.
And you drove the entire journey?
Yes. Oh, it was a very nice car. The Ambassador petrol is also very, and I also had a very good mechanic in Chennai, because there at that point of time there were excellent people to work on the car and tuning up the car. Even when you start, there is no noise. There used to be an old man who used to come from this Pallavan transport, the bus corporation people. They had some of the best engine tuning people, and one of the person who used to come was from that corporation, and he used to be with the engine for 4-5 hours. Used to come in the morning, whole day you will think he's not doing anything, but
He's tuning.
after when he's going in the evening, he would have started the engine and he will call me and ask, is the engine running or not? We cannot find out that the engine is running. You know, so smooth they used to.
Tuning of the carburetor.
Now it's very difficult to
find
get
such
people
people.
like
Still, people are very less. Sir, I noticed that you are more fond of European cars or American cars because you never had a Japanese car or Korean car. Like Skoda is a Czech Republic vehicle. Before that, you had a Ford Icon, right?
Yeah.
So, why are you keen in buying these kind of cars? Or rather, I would ask you, what are your priorities while you purchase a car?
Okay, I mean, earlier times it was more of a passion for the ambassadors and Fiat, which of course at that time there was no special features like air conditioners or even the floor gear was there only in later models of Fiat. Earlier it was only the hand gear. But when I went into the new model of cars, basically it was a liking for a car. Okay, I did not, when I first bought the Ford Icon, I understood that it is a good car, and I went by the public opinion, because for me a new car, a new generation car is only a word of mouth.
Okay.
So when I bought the Ford, I went because Ford was in Chennai and it was a large factory, and we believed that they will give a good product in India also, and the Icon was within my budget also.
Okay.
So I bought the Icon as my first modern vehicle, and I almost used it till about 8 to 9 years.
Okay.
And later I liked the Skoda, you know, I mean, because it has got a very nice shape, and it is this particular model, if you can see that it is a 2008 vehicle, which must have been a fully knocked down vehicle at that time. Skoda did not have a full-fledged factory here, and you can still see if you move the doors, it is so heavy. And this car is 15 years old.
It looks like brand new.
Yeah, so it is performing, and here I went in for the mileage, because the showroom people told me it will definitely give you 23 to 24 kilometers on the highway, and it still gives me the same mileage.
Okay.
If I fill up 55 liters in Chennai, it comes to my house here, which is about 730 kilometers, and it will go back to Salem.
Oh, okay.
So the mileage is
So the consideration parameters are, one, I would say, the design of the vehicle.
yes,
Second is mileage.
yes,
Right. Then you heard like sheet metal quality, right?
quality of the sheet metal, and there's something that I really fancy about in today's. If I want to buy a new car today, I don't think I will get a car with a running board.
Okay.
So you can see that there's a running board in this, just like the Fiat and the Ambassador.
Oh, okay.
So I like the running board cars because it is very sturdy.
Okay.
To
The
have a
impact
running
from
board impact, and also it is more collision resistant, more than the body. This gives a lot of protection, and I like a car with a running board.
Okay. So this is the portion that you are referring to as running board, right?
Yes, this portion which runs from the front to the back.
Yeah. But
The running board.
see, for that matter, nowadays the new generation cars also have a running board, right?
Yes, but it is of a different design.
Okay.
You will see that it is only
Curvy.
a curvy board which goes along with the body line.
Okay.
Whereas these models will have
A projection out.
a projection outside.
Okay. That adds to the safety of the car.
Exactly. More than safety, it also gives a lot of stability. Vehicle from the front to the back.
Okay.
But probably to cut cost, I do not know that most of the vehicles, even SUVs, don't have these running boards. You say they give you a ladder like thing to get down, and footboards, footboards.
See, nowadays the trend is to keep a vehicle for maximum 5 years or stretch up to 10 years. And now there are a lot of pollution norms and all that. I understand this car is a diesel one and it's 15 years old. Okay. So people have the tendency to change the vehicle, to sell it off and get a new vehicle. So what would be your next buy? Yeah, very good question, because many people ask me a question like that, but I have never thought of a next car with all this around me, because all of them you can see that they are well maintained, and it still gives the desired comfort and mileage that is required, and the safety things are quite okay on all these cars.
Yeah.
The Skoda especially is doing well. And I'm not able to really think about a new car. I know that there are a lot of cars coming with lot of features, and I feel the features seem to be more of electronics. I do not know that maybe the number of airbags increase, whether it is the electronic stability and other things are all available in this car also. So I am really confused, even if I am given a chance to buy a new one. I do not know what to buy, and
Really
what to
confused.
look for, and I really don't know whether we should have too many cars, because we already have all these old cars which are still running with us. The vintage cars are still running, so adding on new cars, my family is against it. My family does not want to give away all these cars. My children say, why are you giving this Skoda when it is running so well? Even if you are buying a new one, you keep it, then you buy another one. So I'm quite not ready to have another car. Though I am eligible from my company to have another car, I have kept away from it. And so I know that a lot of cars were bought and sold during these three generations. Which is the car that you would miss a lot?
A very difficult question.
Still, given a chance, if that car is still existent, you would like to buy back. Like that. Which car is that?
Yeah, as a family, as I told you, the car MSY 5385, which was the elegant, which was belonged to my father, is remembered across my family. So many people know about it, and in case if the car is available for sale, I would like to
Get it
buy.
back.
That is my father's car. But as far as the cars that I have bought, most of them are still with me. I have not
Apart
given
from
it off.
Ambassador.
Yeah, the Ambassador, I really miss it, because it was a very nice car, and the reason for selling is because I went abroad.
Oh, okay.
So I never had any intention to sell the Ambassador. It was in very good shape. In fact, I bought a car for 25,000 and sold it for 48,000.
Oh, almost
After
double.
using it for 6 or 7 years, I almost sold it for 48,000, because I was posted in Qatar. I got a job in Qatar, and I was moving with the family. So that is the reason why I sold the Ambassador, and I still miss the Ambassador. In fact, from time to time I see if I can get a nice Ambassador in petrol version, but I do not see. Very rarely I find an Ambassador car in the petrol version.
So you said that your father had a couple of cars, and your family was a joint family. How about your grandparents and all?
Yes, my grandparents are basically, they are from a place called Cherukunnam near Kannur.
Okay.
When they moved to Chennai in the year 1915.
Okay, 1950.
So it is almost, we have completed 100 years as a family living in Chennai. And he started his own hotel, and then he also started a place, it's a lodging facility in a place called Pursavakam in Chennai. And over his period, we remember, I have seen the pictures of the family car, which is basically, he started with a Hillman.
Okay.
Hillman was the first car, and then later he had Chevrolet.
Okay.
And
Chevrolet, which car?
yeah, I only remember it's a big one.
Huge one.
I have a picture somewhere in the family album. It's a huge car.
Okay.
I don't know the exact history. And then he also had the Morris. The Morris, Hindustan Morris. It was called the
Hindustan 14.
Yes, it's a larger one with 4 doors, not the Morris Minor.
That is baby Hindustan.
Yeah, that's baby Hindustan. This is the
Hindustan 14.
So that was the last car. I think after that my father started to buy the Fiat, and my grandfather did not keep any cars.
Okay.
That,
So you said your first car was an Ambassador, but first vehicle Can you tell me about your first vehicle for that matter?
Okay, I mean, like, a vehicle which I have been very close is I started to drive the two-wheeler, which was my father's Lambretta.
Okay.
That is a single-owned vehicle, and it was bought in 1964.
Okay.
And I used to drive it when my father is not at home.
Oh,
Whenever
okay.
he goes on tours, I used to move it,
Oh,
and that is how I started to learn to drive the Lambretta. And after he passed away, I continued to use the vehicle throughout the running career. Whenever I was using the scooter, my Lambretta was the vehicle which I was using.
okay. It wasn't like a daily use.
It was a daily use. I was using it officially, driving 50, 100 kilometers, because I was in the sales field of valves. So I used to travel to various industries around Chennai, and sometimes with my friends I have traveled to Bangalore and
okay.
other what do you call touristic places are in Tamil Nadu. Just for a fun of it, we used to, and at those times even inside Chennai, we used to go three people on the Lambretta.
Oh,
One
okay.
person sitting on the stepney in the back, and
It was a two separate seats kind of thing.
yes,
No,
it
it was not a single seat.
no, it was the two separate seats with stepney in the back.
Back.
I still have it, and in fact during the COVID period I got it completely restored, and now it is in good running condition. My son uses it sometimes,
Okay.
so he is able to drive the Lambretta, so
Okay, great.
he drives it.
Sir, after Ambassador, Premier Padmini was one of the most popular cars in India, right? Especially in Mumbai and all. I have seen few station wagons of Premier Padmini. I hope you.
Yes,
might
yes.
have-
Premier did come out with a special version,
Ah,
but the history is slightly different. They were doing it as a runaway chassis.
Okay.
So you can buy the chassis of the vehicle with the mechanism, and the body you give it to another company for building the body.
Okay.
So there are companies. I think the company is called Starlight in the
Okay.
past, who were doing this.
Bodybuilding.
Specialized bodybuilding with elongated back, and
Right.
different types of doors are available in the back. Some was lifting to the top, some was lifting
Flipping,
or
huh.
flipping like a door, and you can get it done to your
Customized.
taste, customized. The company is called Starline,
Okay.
and I think there were only two companies who did it.
It doesn't have any relation with Premier Auto Limited.
No, the basic engine and the chassis is all the same.
Yeah,
All the
understood. It is
body-
like for buses and all, we get
Yes.
the chassis and get
Exactly.
the body built from
Exactly.
other companies.
Exactly what.
That's interesting.
So that's why you see you will not find many of those models.
Correct.
So
It's a rare piece.
and I think people should have a lot of money to do it at that time. To buy like this and give it to convert it with a new kind of body, and so that is a specific model of Premier, which came out like this without the bodies.
So everyone has a dream, right? What would be your dream car if money is not a criteria? What is that dream car?
Very, very difficult question, because I have not thought about it. Tell that this is the dream car. People always say they have but to tell you this answer, I need to really study about those cars.
No, it's not necessary that it should be a modern or a luxury car. It can be a big car. Anything. It can be anything. Like you want to keep it in your garage, like that car.
Well, I lost an ambassador during this course. I would like to get one ambassador, and I also like the Herald, the Triumph. It's a car which is I would like to have, but hardly there are any cars in the market. Why?
So I understand that right now you have three vintage vehicles, two Fiats and one Lambretta. The challenge of maintaining a vintage car is, or a vintage vehicle, is the availability of spares and skillful labor. So how do you maintain these cars?
Yeah, it's very difficult. I think the more the time passes away, we are finding it more difficult.
But fortunately, as far as this car is concerned, there is a organized company called Flamingo Motors in Ernakulam, near the Arur bypass.
Okay.
So they are doing only work on the old vehicles, vintage cars. In fact, this also is not vintage to them. It is more recent car. But somehow after I bought it, from that day onwards, they have been doing the maintenance. Sometimes they even send somebody to my village if there is some serious problem and if I am not able to drive. They come home and attend it, and they have all the in-house facilities, whether it is tinkering, painting, and all the major works they can do inside the shop. So you need not keep moving your vehicle from that place.
How about the parts?
Parts, of course, yes. Basically now it is we have some group activity.
WhatsApp groups.
WhatsApp groups are there, and there are some people who are sourcing and giving. So that is how we are able to get the parts. And the parts, one problem is we really don't know whether it is original or, but we have to be satisfied with whatever we are getting. You know. So parts are a big problem for the future. As long as nothing happens, these cars run for a long time, but it doesn't require regular heavy maintenance. You know, though it requires some care, it doesn't require very heavy maintenance. So let's hope that we manage with whatever spares we have. Only thing is, as vintage owners, I always tend to buy a lot of spare parts.
You keep it?
Yes, I will be having at least 10,000-20,000 rupees worth of spare parts.
In your garage?
In the garage. Even in the boot in the car, there is always some spares. A spare carburetor or a spare distributor, some light components, you know. Even a clutch plate I have bought one and kept, because getting a clutch plate is also becoming difficult. You know. So parts, yes, for people who are owning these vehicles, it is difficult to get.
So thank you so much for your precious time. It was really useful for us, and happy motoring.
ഈ വീഡിയോ എല്ലാവർക്കും ഇഷ്ടമായെന്ന് കരുതുന്നു. ഇഷ്ടമായ ലൈക്ക് ചെയ്യുക, നിങ്ങളുടെ അഭിപ്രായങ്ങൾ കമൻസായി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുക. അതേപോലെ ഈ ചാനൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് കാണുന്നതെങ്കിൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക. ഹാപ്പി മോട്ടറിംഗ്.